And now let's talk about some veteran hiring and special hiring authorities that are accommodating to veterans when they're trying to get into the federal government. Let's begin by talking about veterans preference. Veterans preference is mandated by law and allows a veteran who has served their country honorably to get preference for the purposes of federal employment. So as a veteran applies for a job, they're going to look at things like the character of service. They're going to look at whether you have a service-connected disability. Those are some of the elements that the government actually recognizes the service that one does as an individual for their country. They're going to look at, do you have a service-connected disability? So there are going to be different programs that a person who has a service-connected disability can actually use when they're applying for a government job that says, I'm going to have some preference over a person who does not have any preference at all. So one of the things it does not do, however, it does not guarantee you a job. So you're going to have to, once again, use your experience and use your education to apply for a federal job to match yourself better in an environment that's going to give you the best opportunity for that job. The preference then takes over and is applied and gives you a boost once you're trying to get a federal job. One of the programs that we have is called the Veterans Recruitment Appointment. And under that law, the VRA appointment, actually what we do is a veteran who's eligible for that program is looked at based upon qualifications and experience, and they're eligible for a non-competitive appointment up to a grade GS-11. Now, non-competitive actually means that an agency has an option to be able to market, to be able to advertise, and to be able to select the veteran and appoint them directly into that position. So they enter into a program that puts them 2 years into training, and the agency has the option of converting them to a permanent appointment because they normally begin at what we call a term appointment or a temporary appointment. And so they get trained for a couple of years to be sure that they're able to actually do that job before they're converted to a permanent position. And then we have folks who have a minimum of a service-connected disability, and any service member who meets those requirements, once again, the agency has an option of being able to appoint you directly into a position. So with this one, however, it goes up to a grade GS-15. So once again, they're looking at minimum of a 30% service-connected disability, and this one, once again, they bring you on board temporarily and fit you into a position, and once they determine that you are capable of doing that job, they can convert you at any time into a permanent position. So our next one is an act under the Veterans Employment Opportunity Act that specifies that agencies, if you're not aware, have the option to be able to recruit and hire however it best meets their own needs. So in many cases, an agency limits the type of candidates that they're recruiting and trying to hire for. So with that said, a veteran who applies and is veteran preference eligible has the opportunity under the Act to be able to apply for a job when it's normally closed to some other candidates. This, in fact, allows you to apply for the job, and once again, we focus on your qualifications, your education, and your experience, and you get to compete for that job along with the other candidates for that position. Schedule A is a hiring authority that is not veteran-based. It is based upon anyone who has what we call a disability, particularly a specific targeted disability. So anyone who fits the criteria for any type of intellectual, psychiatric, or severe physical disability, you can apply under the Schedule A program. And the Schedule A program, once again, is a non-competitive hiring appointment, and you can be appointed directly based upon the agency's needs, who's going to, once again, say, how are we going to market? Who or what type of folks are we looking to hire under? And Schedule A, they can appoint you directly up to a grade GS-15. Then we have student programs. This is the government's way to bring folks in, students who may not normally have the experience that other folks have under the competitive way. So however, what they do in the student programs, they offer you a way to say, based upon your student activities, number one, internships, you could be still going to school. So ultimately, they're saying, negotiate your schedule with the hiring manager. You might decide to work 20 hours a week. So simply you become a part-time federal employee while you go to school. The internship program allows you to progress as you are going to school, not worry about experience, because once you are brought on board, they actually train you for what they want you to do. So it's not going to be necessary that your school academics is geared towards that employment for the job that you're actually headed to. Then under the Recent Graduates Program, 2 years from the time that you graduate, there's a program that says for anyone out there, once you graduate, you now have 2 years to apply for government under the Recent Graduates Program. These are all going to be on USA Jobs. They're going to be earmarked Pathways Program, and it identifies that, yes, you are applying, once again, based upon your education. So for those veterans out there, military experience, this program would allow you 6 years to apply under the Recent Graduates Program. And our final program, a reinvigorated program, is called the Presidential Management Fellows Program. This is a program that's geared towards more of a master's degree or higher level. It is competitive by nature, so once you apply, they select a given number of candidates every year. Once they select those candidates, they then enter them into the government into a 2-year developmental training program where they're going to get exposure to senior management, they're going to learn how to work with different agencies, and ultimately there's accelerated promotion for them, and they are identified as Presidential Management Fellows. Ultimately, whenever you're looking for information, this is the site that you want to visit. This has been designed for you as an information gateway for all of the programs that we talked about. So Key says that if I'm a veteran, if I'm a military spouse, if I'm a hiring official, if I'm a hiring manager, I can visit this website and find about all the different programs that we just discussed. So it's designed as a gateway to say one-stop shopping to provide you a resource where you're able to find all types of information. It also gives you an opportunity to visit a number of different things that are going to be at your fingertips. How about different agency veteran service representatives? How about a calendar of events? So as an example, different workshops that may be in your community, if you visit fedshirevets.gov, it has a list of the different workshop, job fairs. And one of the key things that it does for you, not an employment site, however, it often spotlights employment.